Welcome to Hurricane Field, this afternoon's non-conference matchup featuring the visiting Bears from Shaw University, taking on your Georgia Southwestern State University Hurricanes. At this time, let's introduce you to the starters for both schools. Let's meet the starting 11 from Shaw University, the Bears. Number 14, Carl Kennedy. Number 31, Theo DeLelu. Number 4, Eric Hueta. Number 5, Moritz Lutzen. Number 6, Zola Mafola Rodriguez. Number 11, Andre Matsuda. Number 19, Fabian Ruzu. Number 23, Tiago Suma. Number 24, Ferre Lemons. Number 25 is John Angrila. And number 26, Fabian Nii-Rora. Head coach of the visiting Bears in his first season is Matt Brown. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting 11 for your GSW Hurricanes. 5'7" senior from Sao Paulo, Brazil, number 10, Thiago Elias. 6' senior from Tucker, Georgia, number 14, Julian Rugel. 6'4" junior from Fayetteville, Georgia is number 23, Matthew Sherry. 5'9" junior from Weston, Florida, number 2, J.P. Merlette. 6'2" senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, number 3, Mohamed Balde. 5'11" sophomore from El Paso, Texas, number 6, Zay Harris. 6'1" senior from Decula, Georgia, number 7, Jonathan Sayers. A 5'11" senior from Salvador, Brazil, number 11, Mateus Alves. 5'7" junior from Seoul, South Korea, number 13, Pedro Chung. 5'10" junior from Porto Alegre, Brazil, number 18, Rafael Faria. And a 5'9" sophomore from Norcross, Georgia, that's number 19, Devin Moak. Head coach of the Hurricanes in his 12th season is Warren Russ. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your starters. Let's get ready for match day kickoff. Game on, boys, game on. We'll roll right into this one. A couple of quick announcements for those of you that are new to the facility. Restrooms are located back across the street. You'll see the brick building behind home plate at the softball complex. Those white doors facing the bleachers. Here where you'll be sitting today, those are your restroom facilities. Please take good care when crossing the road. That is a busy, busy street, and they don't like to slow down, unfortunately, for pedestrians. So take care crossing that road. Again, restrooms and a water fountain back across the street. If you have friends or family who couldn't make the trip to Americus, no worries. They can follow the action wherever they may be. Have them go online to gswcanes.com. gswcanes.com, then they can head to the schedule portion of the website. If you're on a mobile device, it'll be a calendar up in the top right corner. Click on it. Head down to today's match. Live stats and video links are there. You can also find it on the on a desktop by scrolling down to the schedule. Again, find us on YouTube, GSW Athletics. GSW Athletics on YouTube, the home of the Surge Sports Network. Enjoy the action. We'll catch up with you at the halftime break.
Welcome to baby, take control.
Good afternoon. We're live from Americus, Georgia, non-conference men's soccer action. Thanks for tuning in here on a warm fall afternoon in Americus. Temperatures should be close to 90 degrees at kickoff. A couple of clouds floating around, otherwise blue skies, sunshine, and the hint of a breeze. Just underway for this non-conference matchup, as I mentioned, it's the Shaw University Bears in town to take on your Georgia Southwestern State University Hurricanes. Should be an interesting matchup, new faces, new rivalry, new meeting for both of these teams. As they lock horns for the first time, we'll see how things go today. Shaw University is wearing the maroon or wine-colored kits with the white stripe down the bar down the side and the shoulders, moving from left to right on your screen in the first half. GSW in their home white Adidas kits. They've got those navy shorts with the white trim, white socks with some navy accents to them, or trim, if you will. And we're underway. If you take a look initially at the matchup, we'll dive into the stat comparison a little bit later, but for Shaw and GSW, fairly similar paths this season. Shaw holds a 3-4-1 record overall. This is a low corner kick that gets to the wall quickly and the defensive line and put out by the Hurricanes. Shaw University 3-4-1 overall. Like I mentioned, Georgia Southwestern is 2-6-1 this season. So both sides looking to creep a little bit closer back to the 500 mark. Still a couple of games under, but trying to turn this around and kind of play the second half of the season with a little momentum and a little push towards wherever postseason options may possibly still await for both of these schools. Most of the season, I'm sure, has been filled up with the non-conference stuff. We're just really getting into Peach Belt Conference play. Only 2 matches have been played so far by the Hurricanes in conference action, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. But just underway. We'll introduce you to the starting 11 for both teams. I know if you were tuned in at the beginning of the match, you probably heard the announcements made. But for those of you that have tuned in shortly here after kickoff, we'll let you know how things line up for both teams. Starting 11 for the visiting Bears and head coach Matt Brown. See if I get a little practice going through some of these names again for Shaw University. Goalkeeper today for the Bears will be number 31, Theo Delelu. Joining Delelu on the pitch this afternoon, number 4, Eric Hueta. Number 5, Moritz Latzen. Number 6 is Zola Mafoa Rodriguez. Number 11 is Andre Matsuda. Number 14, Carl Kennedy. Number 19 is Fabian Ruzu. Number 23, Tiago Suma. Number 24 is Ferre Lemons. Number 25, John Angrilla. Number 26 is Fabian Niyirora. So that's how the Bears, that's who the Bears will trot it out for the start of this one. GSW's starting 11 will be led by the goalkeeper, junior Matthew Sherry, out of Fayetteville, Georgia, joining Sherry on the pitch. Number 2, junior from Weston, Florida, J.P. Merlette. 6'2" senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Number 3, Mohammed Balde. A 5'11" sophomore from El Paso, Texas. Number 6, Zay Harris. 6'1" senior from Decula, Georgia. Number 7, Jonathan Sayers. A 5'7" senior from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Number 10, Thiago Elias. 5'11" senior from Salvador, Brazil. Number 11, Mateus Elvis. A 5'7" junior from Seoul, South Korea. Is number 13, Pedro Chung. 6' senior, number 14 from Tucker, Georgia, Julian Rugel. 5'10" junior from Porto Alegre, Brazil is number 18, Rafael Faria. And the 5'9" sophomore from Norcross, Georgia, rounding out the 11 is number 19, Divin Moak. We'll introduce you a little bit closer to a few of those individuals as the match goes on, tell you a little bit about their background, where they're coming at as far as offensive leaders, those folks that, those fellas that have seen a significant amount of playing time this season, and give you a chance to learn a little bit more about some of the Hurricanes on the pitch here this afternoon as this one rolls along. Hurricanes with the numbers here, 4-on-3. If they can find the open man, this one deflected nicely. And it'll be Shaw attempting to counter. Yellow card. We're going to stop the clock with 37:25, and a yellow card is going to be issued to number 5, Moritz Latzen. So Latzen with the arm brace on. Is the whistle still going to be still a little work to do? They'll bring the ball back. Not quite yet. Referee needs to jot some notes into his book, his handy-dandy notebook. Get ready for this one. I don't know where my, see if we can find our stat sheet. But GSW comes, kind of comes limping into this one, in need of a W, and kind of something to catapult in their second half of the season. GSW has lost 5 matches in a row. The last being still a hard fought. It doesn't quite show on the score, but they took the number 3 team in the country to the limit. Ended up losing 4-1 at Young Harris over the weekend, but again, it was 2-1 until about the 70th, it was either the 73rd or 78th minute. One of those round numbers. But anyway, point being, late in the match, they had just, I think it was the 78th minute, however. They had as a 2-1 match. They were within a goal of number 3 in the country. Kind of had them on their heels a little bit. The numbers were pretty equal, but unfortunately, a couple of late goals pushed that one to a pretty hefty score and a favorable and comfortable win for number 3. You wouldn't know that judging by the 4-1 verdict there in that contest. But again, GSW, desperate need of a win. They won a couple early on, back-to-back, and now the 5-game losing streak is hoping to see if they can't snap it today. Obviously, Shaw has other plans in mind, and they'd like to get their 4th win of the season and keep moving in the right direction as far as their 2018 schedule plays out. Looks like the Hurricanes will get ready for a corner kick. Don't forget, fans, if you have an interest in seeing those numbers, those stats, have that data in front of you. Numbers guy, numbers lady, like to follow along, follow your favorite player, whatever team that may be. There is a live stats feed of today's broadcast going on as well, so you can get all the stats. Open up one window, have your YouTube broadcast going, and then another screen or another tab window. Shot just to the right. Long shot by the Hurricanes, rather. Had some pace on it, but to the right of the post. And that was Faria who ripped that one Couldn't put it in. But you can find the links on our website, gswcanes.com. I got to double check. I think it's right there in the description of today's broadcast as well. Would you go to gswcanes.com if those links weren't there waiting for you? And you go to gswcanes.com and the schedule portion of the website, you'll see on a mobile device a little calendar in the top right corner. You can click on it, scroll down to today's match, click on live stats, and you'll be ready to go. Otherwise, if you're on a desktop, just scroll down to the scoreboard. You'll see today's match in action, partial score there in progress, and you can click on the live stats link and be locked in. Let your family or friends know so they can follow along wherever they may be. Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 10, Tiago Elias. Southwestern takes the early lead in this one. Quick score, and that's Tiago Elias. Oh, we'll restart it here. That's big. Great start for the Hurricanes. For Elias, that'll be his second goal of 2018. Play resumes, and the Canes have an early 1-0 lead. We'll introduce you, as I mentioned, to some of the Hurricane players coming up here throughout the first half. I do want to point out on the flip side of things, a couple of players to keep an eye on from the Shaw roster. Leading scorer this season is a tie. A couple of guys come in with sharing the team lead at 4 goals apiece. That would be number 23, Tiago Suma, and number 10, Tilo Vilke. Vilke not in the match at the start of this one, both with 4 goals apiece. The Hurricanes getting ready for a corner kick, and it'll be Elias this time. See if he can get himself an assist to add to his goal total so far today. Elias will be the one to take the corner for the Hurricanes, looking to add to their lead here in the early going, just not even 15 minutes into this one. Thanks for tuning in. Well, the chess match isn't underway. They'll leave it short for Sayers. Sayers will turn back to Elias. This time Elias will go to the opposite end of the 18, trying to get it to Chung. Chung boots it in the air. High ball. Mocha's going to try to go up, but no can do. Delelu is there to pick it out of the air. Delelu has started 6 of the 8 Shaw matches. He's logged 560 minutes. He's allowed 16, now 17 goals. He's saved 35, 6.86 save percentage, 2-3-1 record overall, and the goals against average on Delelu is 2.57. Pedro Chung's got an opportunity to break away, man charging, shot up, and it's a goal! Hurricanes! Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 13, Pedro Chung! Quick strike for the Hurricanes. Back-to-back goals. GSW with a 2-0 lead, and we're just under 15 minutes into the match. Offensively for Shaw, we didn't get quite through it. They've, like I mentioned, Suma Wilke has 4 goals apiece. Number 5, so that's 23, and number 10. You also want to keep an eye on number 5, Moritz Lutzen. He's got a goal and a couple of assists, as well as, and then number 11, who did start, Andre Matsuda. 2 goals this season for Matsuda. The Bears have 3 other players that have added a goal as well. Shaw comes in with 14 goals. They've allowed 20. Now they've allowed 22 to opponents this season. You'll see a little bit later in the match as we compare the overall team stats. On paper, these two teams are very similar and come in with very even stats. But it's been the Hurricanes who have struck first. So goals from Elias and Chung, but there's also a couple of guys up on the top of the leaderboard that we haven't yet heard from. A foul on Georgia Southwestern, the first being number 11, Mateus Alves. Let's take a look at Alves this season. Comes in with as the team leader, number 11. Keep an eye on him. 5 goals, 3 assists, near 650 minutes coming into play, and he's taken 3 shots per match on average for the Hurricanes this season. Alves, again, is a senior transfer in for his final year, his first season with the Hurricanes. He's from Salvador, Brazil. Hand is up off the foul. Here comes the line drive kick in. It'll be Elias who kicks it out first, follows up with another kick. This one booted high into the air. And I believe the Hurricanes will get called for a foul on that one. That one will be on Chung, a little bit height advantage favoring Shaw. Player down. Thankfully back up. That's number 5, Lotzen, getting up off the turf for Shaw. So that was a quick peek at Mateus Alves, the leading scorer for Georgia Southwestern. The goal by Chung was his first of the season. The goal again by Elias, his second. Second on the team offensively is number 9, Dylan Marshall. Yeah, go ahead and introduce you to Dylan. Keep an eye on number 9. He's got 3 goals this season, a couple of assists, and only in 435 minutes, so he gets plenty of rest. Usually a quick spark, some fresh legs. Marshall comes in also averaging 3 shots a match so far this season. Marshall in his second season with the Hurricanes, the sophomore. Nope, I'm sorry, third year, junior. They grew up so fast. Marshall, a junior from Thomaston, Georgia. I think Coach Russ was calling for that on the last kick after the foul, trying to get it out wide to Merlette. They finally do on the second time. It's Elias after the second foul. Does get it out wide, but doesn't lead to anything. With 2 goals this season, number 19, Devin Moak. Now, why I say that, he's one of his last goal came against Young Harris. He had the 1 goal. If you saw the highlight clip, Devin Moak had to work through 5 defenders and still found a way to score just inside the 18 against the Mountain Lions for his 2nd goal this season, and he's done so in only 327 minutes. Again, his shot count isn't as high, but when he gets on the attack, he tends to convert those opportunities. 1.2 shots per match so far this season for Moak, number 19. Georgia Southwestern has gone with 2 different goalkeepers this season. Making his 3rd start is number 23, Matthew Sherry. Sherry's making his 3rd start out of the Hurricanes' 10th match of the season. There you get a look at Sherry. 2.25 goals allowed. He's made 10 saves in 200 minutes between the pipes, a .667 save percentage. He was the keeper when the Hurricanes got their tie earlier in the season. That one coming, the 2-2 tie at Weber International, 2nd match of the year for Georgia Southwestern. So Sherry gets the call for the 3rd time this season to put on the green jersey and get in between the pipes for the Hurricanes. Calling the signals back there from the right end of the field, right side on your screen anyway today. Well, while the afternoon warm, sunny contests have been commonplace around here for many years in all of existence of GSW's soccer program, feels a little weird doing it this season. This is the only day match as GSW. You can see the light poles on the far side. One of the initiatives of the GSW Foundation, or through the support of the GSW Foundation. Players down, clock still running. They'll check on the injured player. I believe that's Elias that's down on the turf. Clock still running. Make sure he'll be all right. But first match of the season, or excuse me, first year with lights. So night match is a welcomed addition. Quickly pops up and kicks it over to Sayers here on the near side. Now Seven will dribble in. Tries to get around one man. Another man is waiting for him behind. Sayers now gets enough space to try to feed it in. Nobody there. Ball bouncing around, a little nice header there. Here's Moak. This is familiar, right about where he shot it at Young Harris, but unfortunately better defense on this attempt. And he just couldn't turn with the ball and have control. Here's a feed in for Merlette. Header's going to be a GSW throw in. Clock stopped. Water break. So the clock stops with 21:35, a mid-half water break as they play during the hot sun here. Feels more like summer than fall today as the 90-degree temperature. So they'll take their mid-half water break. We're going to mute it for just a moment, play a little music for the folks in attendance, and we'll be back shortly for the final 21:35 of the opening half. The Canes on top. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University men's soccer on the Surge Sports Network. So play resumes after the water break for both teams. No water breaks with those 7 o'clock, 7:30 starts. So nice. Not because there's no water break, it's just so much cooler. But glad to have night soccer action. But these teams, long trip in for Shaw. This will get them back several hours earlier and make for a little bit more comfortable travel and a little bit more reasonable arrival back home tonight after this one. So it was the Shaw women who scored 2 goals in each half to beat the Lady Hurricanes in the first match this afternoon, 4-0, and this time it's GSW that's putting up 2 goals in the half. We'll see if 2 goals by either side stands and we keep this little trend going on, or if one of these other sides has a little something to say about it and mix it up a little bit. But 20.5 minutes to go until the break. And we mentioned some of the offensive players for the Hurricanes that have had a big contribution. We'll wait till the ball's back around. He actually just, oh, that's Shane Madre, I believe. Nope, that's Faria. Thought I heard him saying Shane. But one of the captains for the Hurricanes is number 14, Julian Rugel. He's a defender for Georgia Southwestern, and why is that important? Well, of course, you won't see the goals and the assist stats, but Rugel leads the team with a whopping 830 minutes on the pitch this season. He doesn't come out, folks. He stays in, and he anchors that Georgia Southwestern defensive line. Rugel, whose sister plays on the women's team, she transferred in for her first season with the Lady Hurricanes to play this season. Julian Rugel's a senior from Tucker, Georgia, and again, a captain today, anchoring that defensive back for Georgia Southwestern. So, again, he hasn't come out much this season. He's been there for the full 90 just about every game. And the Hurricanes will count on him to try to keep this a one-match affair. Referee moves back. Our media here today, representing the local newspaper. I guess he was pretty darn close to that end line, so I think they got to move him back a little bit just for everybody's safety, his and the players. Ken creeping awful close to that end line. Goodness gracious. Hurricanes will make a substitution at this time. And here he comes. We'll introduce him for the crowd and introduce him to you as well. Checking into the match for the Hurricanes is number 5, Nick Bodka. Bodka, a senior from Fayetteville, Georgia. Bodka, one of 8 Georgia Southwestern seniors. Shot in, Elias! Goal number 2 for number 10. Georgia Southwestern State University goal by number 10. Giago Elias. Third goal of the half, second by Elias, and the Hurricanes stretch their lead to 3 now on the Bears from Shaw University. Uh-oh, Moak's got a chance. Kifford got to come up and get that one. Moak almost caught him. Heads up play by the keeper from Shaw. Fancy dribbling. Going to get a foul on Georgia Southwestern, and a kick coming up for the Bears now from strikeable range. Just up from the 18. Well, Elias gets himself in the midst of the team leads. Now he'll tie Marshall with 3 goals this season. 2 behind Elvis for the team lead. Feed out to 23. Going to try to get something off the left foot. Can't. Spins around, and Bodka does a good job just to kick it out. But it will be a corner kick to come up for the Bears. They're not going to sub in this time. They do have 2 players ready to come on into the match at the next opportunity. This one is up to the far side, and Rugel's going to let it roll out of bounds. Goal kick coming up, but a substitution opportunity as well for Shaw University. Number 27 and number 20 checking in for the Bears. Substitutions for Shaw, number 27, Issa Ingram. And number 20, Antonio Nelson. Offsides on the Hurricanes. Hurricanes will look to make a substitution. You got a peek at him earlier. He's coming in, fresh set of legs for the final 50, well, closer to 14 minutes now. It'll be Dylan Marshall to check in for Georgia Southwestern. Caleb Zolman in. He's got a couple of goals this season for GSW. Number 12, you just saw him flick it to Moak. And, in fact, the Hurricanes, if they have the ball, yep, chance for a substitution. In fact, here he comes into the game. Checking into the match for the Hurricanes is number 9, Dylan Marshall. So Moak will take a seat and catch his breath. Long ball out there for Sherry. One hopper. Sherry will let it bounce a couple of times before he'll finally pick it up. Uh-oh, here comes Marshall, fresh set of legs. We'll see somebody back. Alves is in the middle. It's going to be hard to get it to him. There's Zolman. Ball bouncing around. Shot by Chung, deflected. Corner kick coming up for the Hurricanes. Under 13 to go in the first half. See what the Hurricanes will do. If they do the short ball again, they will. This one will come off to Bodka. He'll feed it in, not enough height on it. So it'll get headed away and a throw in coming for the Hurricanes. Now GSW will make a substitution. Georgia's Southwestern substitution checking in for the Hurricanes is number 20, Chris Avery. So Avery is one of those 8 seniors, Tyrone, Georgia. Chris comes in. Long throw in. Pops up. There's Avery. Ooh, tough collision there. Bodka. Everybody heads it around, and now it'll get to the foot of a Shaw player. The Bears come up. Will Avery get there? Here's a race to the ball. Avery's the first one there. The pop, not there. Marshall will have to set it down. Good piece of defensive work right there by number 24 for the Bears to take it away from Marshall. Elias steps in. Faria. Hurricanes spinning around, and this is the intended target, Avery. That one will go for a throw in for the Bears, much to the dismay of head coach Warren Russ. They work to get it back. Kind of pinned in the corner there. Come out. Elvis spins. Opportunity for Marshall. Deflection off the keeper. Nice play. Corner kick. 10.5 to go until the break. Nice play by the keeper from Shaw to come out and get to that ball that was Delelu, because Marshall was in a position that he would have had a great look if it wasn't for the hustle by number 31. Short ball again. Shaw was ready for it. Back. Here comes the kick. Deflected up in the air. First header misses. Zolman up over the top of the crossbar. And a goal kick to come up. Alves with a nice flick to Elias, who's going to send it down. Can Zolman get there? Oh, just a little too much on that one. He's going to track it down, though. Man on. That one will be a goal kick, I believe. Yep. Just about the only place he could put it. Otherwise, the defender, number 27, was going to get there anyway. That was Nigi Rora, who was closing in, and he was out in front anyway. So if he takes anything off of that pass, it was going to be the defender guiding the ball anyway. So he squirted it through, hoping Zolman could just get that extra half step. Couldn't quite happen. GSW will set up and try it again if they get the opportunity. Bears thinking otherwise, trying to cut into this 3-goal deficit. Oof, Balde knocked over with that header. Up in the air. And there's Elias again. And he's had an excellent first half. Well, if you've got some friends or family in the area, or you got, your student or your son or your daughter goes to school here, if you're anywhere around the region, there's a couple of cool activities, some nice things going on this week on campus for the presidential investiture. Here comes Marshall on the attack. He's got a step, but he can't quite get to a ball. Will be picked up and quickly rolled out. Presidential investiture coming up on Friday. That's the big ceremony, and officially the Board of Regents making Dr. Neil Weaver the president of the university. And there's been a week-long activities and projects and community endeavors going on here on campus. Flicked up in the air, can get it away. Balde will boot it, and it'll be a corner kick. The couple of the highlighted things to come yet include a golf cart. Oh, I guess it was deflected. I don't know how. I thought Balde was for sure the one to that one. Perhaps when he kicked it, he was already out of bounds, though. Tonight at 8 o'clock, there's a glow party, a golf cart parade from the administration building down to the lake house. They'll have a party afterwards. Lots of free food, drinks, activities going on tonight as part of that glow party. Should be fun, so make your way around that part of campus, around the Storm Dome, on the way down as they drive down to the lake house tonight. Free party starts at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock's the magical time because tomorrow night, Thursday night, there's a big concert going on the lower practice fields for the soccer facility here. You see the tents, or see the big tent just beyond the goal perhaps in your shot. If the camera spins far enough to the right a little bit later on, you'll see a white tent back there. They're setting up for a big outdoor concert that'll be taking place tomorrow. That's free as well. A couple of bands playing, food will be served. Bring a blanket. Working for it. Push down, Marshall's up, shot, goal! Little contact, no whistle, score, Dylan Marshall. Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 9, Dylan Marshall. Four-goal game. Dylan Marshall, you saw him and had a little introduction to him earlier. Dylan regains the second place on the roster with goal number 4. He moves, Elias had charged up with his 2 goals today to hit to 3 and match him. Now Marshall's all alone in second place for the Hurricanes with 4 goals, 1 behind Elvis. Shot. Ooh, save by Sherry. Heck of a shot, rifled off there, found the open window. That was number 23. Number 23 for the Bears with that shot, Suma. Thiago Suma takes the shot, also from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Just like on the flip side, the Hurricanes. Elias. So how about that? Couple of players going against each other from the same hometown. Be one thing if it was just down the road in Georgia or in a county in Georgia, but no. Whole other continent. Concert again tomorrow. It's Surge Fest, our mascot named Surge, and in his honor, there you go. You got Surge Fest Music Festival tomorrow, 8 o'clock, 8 to 11. Surge will be there. He'll be at the Glow Cart Party as well, or Glow Cart Parade. There you go. Both nights, tonight and tomorrow, 8 o'clock, as part of Presidential Investiture Week on the campus of Georgia Southwestern. I don't think Marshall will be able to track that one down. The 3 minutes to go until the break. Hurricanes waiting to make a substitution at the next opportunity. Number 8, Shane Madre, will be the one to come on in for Georgia Southwestern if he gets the chance. Foul on the Bears. Elias tripped up on the play. Whistle blown. Well, a long way to go yet in this one. Still 47 minutes of play still remaining. But if the Hurricanes were to hold on, last win for Georgia Southwestern came back on September 8th. 5-3 at Pensacola Christian. Bears come back on the attack. Here comes Avery. He gets through. He's going to have a look. Avery lines it up. The shot. No! 1 minute to go in the first half. 1 minute. Oh, Avery's can't believe it himself. Throws the shirt up over the jersey. Probably talking to himself. Had a great look and just squirted that one outside the left post. GSW substitution number 8, Shane Madre in the match. Ten seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That'll do it for the first half of action. Your Georgia Southwestern State University Hurricanes 4, Shaw nothing. We'll be back. 15 minutes on the clock for your halftime break. Couple of announcements here for you in just a moment. All right, folks, well, we're going to talk to the folks in attendance real quick. We've got some announcements to make with them. We know a lot of it's the investiture stuff, so we don't want to repeat it all for you. Just make note, 14:45 currently on the clock for halftime. Set your timer. Come on back. Exciting second half of action still awaits. It's been all Georgia Southwestern through the opening 45 minutes. Feels good to say it. GSW 4, Shaw 0. We'll be back for the second half of action here from Hurricane Field. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University men's soccer on the Surge Sports Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
Second half underway here from Hurricane Field. We'll be back with the play-by-play for you in just a moment. 4-0 your score. Thanks for tuning back in, and we'll be back in a moment. Enjoy the sounds of the game. We'll be back with you here shortly. Got a foul back there on the Bears. Let's see if we got out there for the Hurricane second half. It'll still be Sherry between the pipes. We've got Rugel. I mentioned he does not come out. Almost played every minute possible so far. Faria there kicking the ball for the Hurricanes. Merlette right here on your picture, number 2. Backside, we've got Balde, Elias. Far side is number 5, Bodka. Madre in the middle. Chris Avery charging. You'll see number 20 come into your screen. Got Sayers on the far side up front for the Hurricanes. Looks like I've just about called them all out. Oh, Manuel Duran also in the match, number 16, right in the middle. Long throw for Merlette. Sure, he thought about the throw. Guy behind him coming up on him quick as he was getting ready. He says, you know what? You all go down the field a little bit. I'll punt it up in the air. So this one is the result. Duran right there with the header. But it'll be ultimately the Bears that'll control that exchange. And now they'll take back to the keeper and see if they can't reset and do something offensively as they've held the possession for the most part here in the second half. No real threat to score yet, but they have had the ball at their feet for most of the opening 5 minutes here of the second half. Long ball through, got around. They're going to get a good look. Here's the shot. It's a 4-1 game. Nice goal there by number 18 for the Bears. The long pass clears the defense and finds the open man. One heck of a pass. I'll have to get you the assist later, but first we'll announce the goal for Shaw. They've made it a 4-1 game. Quick strike, less than 5 minutes into the second period. Second half. Shaw University goal scored by number 18, Mackenzie Sufford. Great pass, great finish by the Bears, and they've pulled within 3 of the Hurricanes. Still plenty of time to make a move on Georgia Southwestern here as the Hurricanes will regroup. Duran will now take a break, checking in for him. I didn't see the exchange, but I believe. Sorry, I had the wrong. What am I still doing with the women's roster? 18 is Mark Elmazor. Whew, way off on that one. Elmazor with the goal. 22 for the Hurricanes is Austin Martinez. Correction, that Shaw University goal was scored by number 18, Mark Elmazor. Elmazor with the goal for Shaw. Let's see how that is for him on his this season. Elmazor, his first goal of 2018. So he puts the Bears on the board. Sayers with a march. He'll charge down. See if he can get a shot off. Not quite enough to do anything as it rolls gently to the keeper. And the Shaw University women's team down there on under the shade of those Leland cypress. Just to the left, when the ball comes back this way, and you'll see the Hurricanes in the screen. 39-18 is what the referee said. We have to reset the clock to 39-18. A few seconds hadn't ticked off the official match clock, which is the scoreboard. But now we've got it reset, 39-18, and here comes a throw in for the Hurricanes. So play resumes. Clock has started to tick down. Shot by 9 off the post. And frustration. Oh, a great opportunity. Would have taken a heck of a shot. He had it. Had an opportunity, and number 9 leaves that one off the post. His frustration for a close call from Malte Ruther. Ruther not quite able to finish for the Bears, and that would have cut the lead in half. Line drive, nice sliding attempt by Balde to keep that ball from getting back to number 9. And another scoring opportunity potentially for the Bears. So the deflection off of Lemons will set up the Hurricanes with a corner kick. And Elias will jog down to the near corner here. See what he can do off of this opportunity. Man comes in. They'll leave it for him, as is often the case. Hurricanes quickly had 2 men on. They've seen it before. The Bears were aware of what was going to happen. It'll be a throw-in. It's Merlette who will take the throw. Quick look at the stats up into this point of the match. Now under 35 minutes to go in regulation. GSW to this point has doubled up Shaw in the shots category, 12-6. Shots on goal. Also, of course, in favor. Clock will be stopped at 34-29. 34-29. Shots on goal. GSW with a 7-2 edge in that category. Corner kicks, GSW 5, Shaw 3. Offside, Shaw 3, GSW 1. Fouls fairly even, but Shaw's been whistled for one more, 6-5. 2 yellows have been issued to Shaw so far, only 1 yellow card to GSW. So a lot of the stat categories actually very close for a match that was, at least on the scoreboard, lopsided, but that hasn't been the case so far in the stats. There's a big shot edge, but shots on goal hasn't really, just a handful of more for the Hurricanes, but they've been efficient and punched them in when they've had the opportunity for the most part, and ball day will come out. Checking back into the match for the Hurricanes, number 6, Zay Harris. It's a ticky-tack thing, but change the second half, or the half to second on the scoreboard. Well, for Georgia Southwestern, this is their final non-conference match of the season. It's all Peach Belt action after this. So GSW getting ready. They're closing out again the non-conference portion of their schedule. Hard to believe that there's only 5 matches remaining for the Hurricanes. We'll take a peek at those a little bit later. Next opportunity we'll have, we'll give you a review of the current Peach Belt Conference standings. At the next opportunity. We won't rush that one. We've got some time. But we'll show you a breakdown of where the Hurricanes stand as they make their final charge and final push, close out the season, 5 conference games, and trying to find a way to get themselves into a postseason opportunity and prime for a Peach Belt Conference run. Hopefully this one headed around a few times. Both conference matches have been competitive so far for Georgia Southwestern. They had Clayton State on the ropes. Yep. Avery is down. Clock will be stopped. Yellow card is going to be issued to number 4. So hopefully Avery will be all right. At first it was a kind of a pull of the jersey down. Then I think as he was trying to leap over him, he got a knee in his back. So Avery will get squared away. A yellow card will be, in fact, issued to number 4. That's Eric. Let's see if I get Eric's last name right. And we'll take a look at the Peach Belt Conference standings first, though. Oh, is that going to throw off your score? All right, there you go. So you can see on the left is the overall records for the teams in the conference. The 3 right columns are the Peach Belt Conference standings, so that'll tell you where we're at win, draw, and loss-wise. GSW still yet to get a win, but again, only 2 matches in. Young Harris is up at the top, and that's who the GSW number 3 in the country just lost to 4-1. But there you look at the standings. Still got Aiken, still got Flagler. The other loss for the Hurricanes came against Clayton State. So we'll resume to action. And that's a look at the Peach Belt Conference standings heading into play today. Well, Avery's back up and running. That's good to see. The yellow card again has been issued. The third yellow of the game for the Bears. And Eric Hueta, the recipient of this one. Ooh, both men kind of throwing it around. It'll be interesting to see who they give the, it's going to stop the clock. The yellow card is going to go to the Shaw player on that exchange. Both guys kind of jockeying for position. That's a rough one. It'll be just outside the box, though, I believe. So another card, yellow, number 4 of the match. This one is going to be issued to number 27. Number 27 for the Bears. Let's see if I can get his pronunciation right for you. Number 27 is Issa Ingram. So Ingram, teammates trying to get everything back in line just outside of the 18. I'm glad, because you hate to see something like that lead to a penalty kick, as the 2 guys were kind of scuffling on their own. So it will be a free kick from outside, just outside the 18, far left corner of your screen, or far left corner of the box. Obviously the right-hand side of your screen. Whistle blown. Here's the shot. Curl around. The shot is up. And it's a goal! How about that? Throw the hats in the ring, baby. Hat trick for Tiago Elias. Off the kick. Georgia Southwestern goal. Scored by number 10, Tiago Elias. Hat trick for Elias. So Elias says, Marshall, I'm going to catch you again for number 2 on the team. That's goal number 4, 3 of the day. Number 3 of the day for the captain, one of the captains, Elias, with his 3rd goal. The hat trick complete. Georgia Southwestern back up to a 4-goal lead, now 5-1. Well, it'll be tough to come up with a Hurricane highlight in this one. I think we might have to have 3 Hurricane highlights, all 3 goals by Elias. It's been his day. There's no doubt about it. A career day for Thiago Elias, the Georgia Southwestern senior. What a memorable day, 3 goals. Hurricanes up 5-1 now. Still 30 minutes, or just under 30 minutes to go. Well, GSW did score 5 goals earlier this season. In fact, their last win, as I mentioned, on September 8th, was they scored 5 goals in the win at Pensacola Christian. 5-3 was the final of that match. Well, it looks like we'll have to make up a little stat slide for Mr. Elias for the next go-around. Looks like the Hurricanes will have a substitution. Next opportunity. I mentioned earlier on about when you look at on paper, these two teams coming in, they were very similar. We'll do a stat comparison of the two teams coming in, but first let's announce the substitutions. Checking back into the match for the Hurricanes, number 11, Mateus Alves, and number 19, Devin Moak. So Elias will take a break. Madre will come and sit down. And a couple of fresh legs out there for Coach Russ and the Hurricanes. So, again, like I mentioned, we'll find the right opportunity. But it hasn't played out this way. But then again, you never know. They play again tomorrow. Maybe it's 5-1 the other way. But coming in, these two teams very eeringly similar in so many categories. And it hasn't quite played out that way. We'll see what we've got as a comparison stat here moving forward in just a minute. Don't want to interrupt the action too much from you on your screen. Sayers will take it down to the corner. The cross. There it is. Header from Alves. Goal! Number 6 for Alves. One heck of a header. The feed from Sayers. Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 11, Mateus Alves. (6-1) the Hurricanes now with a season high in a match, 6 goals, and Alves finally gets his name in the score column of this one. What a header, a low ball from Sayers that he dives, falls out flat on his stomach, and still puts that header in the right spot for his team-leading 6th goal of the season. Well, it's been that kind of day for the Hurricanes. Avery with a nice move. Avery dribbles in. Tries to go off his left. Now bring it back to his right. Deflection, corner kick. Let's take a look at those stats, as I mentioned, coming into play today. You look at it, it's, like I said, very similar in so many categories. 1.6 to 1.7. Goals scored. Goals allowed are almost identical. Shots almost identical. Shot percentage, everything's so close. Corner kicks, 41 to 43. A little bit different. Georgia Southwestern players, our goalkeepers, have had to make more saves this year, but not today. They've forced the pressure on the Bears. But as you rattle down those stat categories again, it's just they were so similar coming into play today. But this one's been all Hurricanes. Bicycle kick, and there's a goal! Number 7, extra point, good. Sayers to Alves. Second strike in about the second minute. There you go. 7-1 Hurricanes tack on the extra point. Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 11, Mateus Alves. Well, Alves has 2 goals now all of a sudden. Both substitutions for both teams now. Caleb Zolman comes back in for the Hurricanes, and it'll be number 3, Fabrico Gama.
Checking back into the match for the Hurricanes, number 13, Pedro Chung.
Well, the sun's starting to set behind us. You see the shadows creeping in here. Georgia Southwestern will make another substitution back in the match. Back in the match for the Hurricanes, number 16, Manuel Duran. Hurricanes will get whistle for the foul. Possession back to Shaw. Chung works it down to the corner. He'll try to turn it back in. Here comes Moak. Will he get a crack at one? Moak takes the shot, deflected up. Ooh, Alves almost got the hat trick. Oh, he could feel it almost on that one. Not to be. Moak shot. Ooh, goalie was up high. Good play by the keeper to get his mitts up on that one. That ball was coming at him fast, and he was close. Excellent job. This will be the break, the half of the half. There you go. They'll take their water break, mid-half water break for both sides as the guys come off the field and take a moment. We are going to play a song here shortly, and we don't want YouTube to yell at us for copyright, so we'll end up muting this audio for just a moment. Some of you may be happy about that, but it's been all Hurricanes. 21-17, the official time left on the clock when we return. Georgia Southwestern with a big 7-1 lead over Shaw. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University Men's soccer on the Surge Sports Network. Play resumes in this one now, just over 21 minutes to go until the final whistle. Well, the final horn, because there's a whistle, but it'll still be the final whistle. Looks like Shaw getting ready to, they're not going to sub here. Next opportunity, though, the Bears have a couple of players several players they're going to bring in. I see number 20, number 15, number 25, and number 17. So 4 new Bears to come in for the final 20 when the opportunity presents itself. 25, 15, 20, and 17. Antonio Nelson, John Angrila, let's see if we can get them in there. Multiple substitutions for Shaw. Number 20, Antonio Nelson. Number 25, John Angrila. Number 17, Paulo Filo. Checking back for the Hurricanes, number 9, Dylan Marshall. Nice pass. Try to take it off the left foot. It's going to go a little bit wide, however. Well, I mentioned only 5 matches left in the 2018 regular season. We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule here at the next opportunity when things slow down a little bit. Hard to believe that this one's quickly coming to a close for Coach Russ and the Hurricanes. Marshall's going to float that one out to the right. Let's take a look at what lies ahead for Georgia Southwestern. A home date with USC Aiken coming up this Saturday. Then it's basically skip a Saturday and the rest of the way it's Saturdays. There you go. Lander on the 20th, North Georgia the 27th. Those are the upcoming home dates. Again, those are the last 5. So GSW with 3 home matches remaining. Saturday, then skip a week. Saturday. So there you go. The 20th and the 27th of October, the final 2. So nothing but Saturdays here in Americas from the rest of the way out for the Hurricanes. This is their final midweek home tilt. Aiken this week again. That's an important one. That's the one that could kind of propel the Hurricanes to a position where they could put themselves to be a 5-6 seed, possibly moving into the postseason or higher if things played out well for them down the stretch. So it all starts with this Saturday's match against Aiken. It's a big one. We hope you can come out and support the Hurricanes on Saturday. Match time for that one is going to be 7 p.m. Now on the 20th, you saw the ads at halftime for it, or the display, the graphic. It's the 3rd annual Canes Cornhole Championship. It's a fun day, and it's a busy day. A lot of action, a lot of activities. It's also part of Georgia Southwestern's Fall Family Weekend. But we hope you could come on out on the 20th. Sign yourself up. Find a partner and come on out. It's a doubles cornhole competition. It's free to play. We feed you. The grill's going. We give you something to drink. We hook you up. We have got you set. And you could walk away with a $75 gift card. Each member of the winning doubles team in the Cornhole Championship will go home with a $75 gift card. $25 to each member of the second place team. So if you're like to throw the beanbag around, even if you don't, it'll be a lot of fun. The tournament starts at 4 o'clock. The men play Lander at 5 p.m. And then the women actually have the late game that night. They play at 7:30. So a full evening. Again, the grills will be fired up. The street will be blocked off. We close up the street on select promotional evenings. That's one of the big ones. And so you don't have to worry about cars buzzing around. And as you can see them going behind the bleachers now on a busy road. But there you go. That's all the 20th against Lander. So the sign-up form for the Cornhole Championship is on our website, gswcanes.com. gswcanes.com. It's one of the main stories. Click on it. Very short sign-up form for you to do. And then you can reserve your spot because there's only 20 teams. Otherwise, this thing will take all day. So we kind of limit it to the first 20 teams to sign up. Get yourself a team together. And if you don't have a partner, we'll find you one. Just sign up yourself online, and we'll find you a partner. We'll get you. Who knows? You could be paired up with GSW President Dr. Neil Weaver. He played last year, so you never know who could be your partner. Pretty good cornhole player as well. The 27th is senior night. That's against North Georgia. So we'll be recognizing as I mentioned, our 8 Georgia Southwestern seniors get recognized on that evening as well to close out the 2018 regular season. $13 minutes remaining in this one. See if we can pull up the old Shaw schedule. Let those fans that are watching their Bears play probably well aware of what they've got ahead for them this season. Wait for the internet to load up. So of the 8 matches so far, the Bears have played 6, now 7 of them on the road. So they haven't been able to enjoy a whole lot of home cooking here this far into the 2018 season, and it doesn't get any easier. They've got 6 more road games coming up following tonight. And then they close out with 2 home contests. So these guys are logging their miles on the charter bus, and the next up for them will October, this coming Saturday, it's Catawba. 6 o'clock start. Piedmont International follows 2 days later. Mars Hill. The next 3 matches for Shaw. So folks cheering on their Bears have had to, many have probably had to watch the video feeds, keep track of how they're doing this season before they come back home for a couple to close out the year. Two 3-1, now potentially 2 4-1 will be their road record. 3 5-1 overall if the Hurricanes hold on for this one. That'll be the record for Shaw. We'll recap all that as soon as this one's over. Long shot. Sherry dives, slides, but it's to the left of the pipe. Hurricanes will make a substitution. Number 24, Nicholas Munoz Ramirez checks in for GSW. Georgia Southwestern substitution number 24, Nicholas Munoz Ramirez. Munoz Ramirez is from Covington, Georgia. The 5'10 sophomore checks in. Moak comes out. Don't forget, fans, as this one comes to a close, you've still got that opportunity to subscribe to our YouTube channel that you're watching this broadcast on today, the home of the Surge Sports Network. Official channel on YouTube is GSW Athletics. You're watching, subscribe to our channel today. That way you can get alerts of whenever we post videos. Good opportunity. Ooh, man, that was a nice give and go. The Bears had something set up there. It was deflected. And it looks like it was going to be a handball and I believe a penalty kick coming up for, we'll stop the clock at 8:22. Penalty kick coming up for the Bears. 8:22 on the clock. Taking the PK, it'll be number 14, Carl Kennedy. Kennedy has an assist this year. He does not have a goal yet, so he'll try to get his first of the season. Let's see which way Sherry will dive in this one, and if he can guess correctly. Referee giving the instructions, whistle blown. Kennedy will line it up. The shot, it'll go right. It's saved by Sherry. How about that? Saves the PK. He guesses correctly. Low left is where that one went, and Sherry was there to knock it away. Kennedy can't believe it. He went right down to the turf, so upset that that one got stopped. It's just been one of those days. And plenty of time to regroup. This isn't a conference match for either side, so just shake it off. Both sides prepare and get ready for what lies ahead here the rest of the way. Feed in, header put in, Dylan Marshall. I think the feed came off the far side. That one bounced down and then back up to the back of the net. The feed, I believe, see who got that one credit on the far side. Was that number 22 with the assist? Austin Martinez will get credit for the assist on that one. Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 9, Dylan Marshall. 8-1 in favor of the Hurricanes. Marshall will come out of the game now. Shane Madre is in. This is Zolman. Zolman has scored this year. He'll take a long shot. That one will bounce a wide and away. Substitution coming in for Shaw. Well, Shaw hasn't, they'll let him make the sub here, and it'll be number 26 that wants to check in for the Bears. Nigi Rora checks back in. He was a starter. Fabian started for the Bears, and now he'll get back in with 6.5 to go. Well, Shaw has a breakaway now. They're trying to get goal on the board, or their second goal of the match, but it'll lead to a goal kick. Well, two Peach Belt Conference opponents have been on the schedule so far, counting today's match for Shaw. They played at Lander 2 weeks ago. Played at Lander, lost 7-0. And now they're down to the Hurricanes 8-1 today. So the Peach Belt has fared well, at least on the men's side. Again, the GSW women suffered a 4-0 loss to the women's team earlier in the match before this one. So it'll be a split here today in this soccer doubleheader. Ball in. Just over 4 minutes to go in this one. Both guys colliding in the corner. Coach Russ imploring his defense to back off a little bit. And no need to draw a card, get a foul, do anything silly. Hurt themselves. Shot. Sherry with the save. Second opportunity. Save for Sherry again. 15 on the rebound for the Bears was the one to get a look at us at a great second opportunity. Gonna have to go back and check the record books on this one just to see if there hasn't been a change. I don't believe. I know we're still finalizing our stats for this year, but it'll be in the release tonight. But I don't think the Hurricanes have ever had a player turn in a hat trick since joining the NCAA division ranks in 2006-07. First glance at this is a media guide 2 years old, but it did not. It had 2 as the most goals scored by an individual in a game. So that could have possibly been a school record right there for Tiago Elias. The only hat trick turned by the Hurricanes in the history of their NCAA Division II era. Played for a couple years in the NAIA ranks before the 2006 season. I'm also showing that the most goals in a match was 6. So this could also be a school record for the Hurricanes. Again, this isn't the most recent media guide. I need to check one more year to confirm that. But this could have been a record-setting day for the Hurricanes. Let's see if we can sniff that last year out. Yes, the 8 goals is in fact a team record. Most in a match in program history. Under 1 minute to go now. "30 seconds. When we go off the air for just a moment, where we're not going to go off the air, we'll mute it real quick as we play a song to wrap this one up. We're going to mute it as soon as this match is over. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So we're going to mute it real quick. We'll be back in a moment for the post-match wrap-up. Georgia Southwestern State University men's soccer on the Surge Sports Network. Well, folks, it was a record-setting day at Hurricane Field. For those of you still with us, thanks for hanging around. We had to make the announcement. Tonight was the night to throw out some victory balls. Georgia Southwestern gets the win. Fans in attendance have a chance at a nice souvenir, a victory ball. Compliments of the men soccer program. 8-1 your final score. Great day to be a Hurricane. Let's run down the stats for you again on this, what's going to be a record-setting day for Georgia Southwestern. The Hurricanes with the win today improved their record to 3-6-1 overall. 3-6-1 for Georgia Southwestern. With the loss, Shaw falls to 3-5-1. So the Bears now at 3-5-1. Pull up the final statistics for you on this one, if the web will cooperate with me. Oop, we don't want live stats for Aiken. That's our next matchup. That'll come on Saturday evening. USC Aiken comes to town. Hurricanes now having 2 of their next 3. This one, Saturday, they have a trip to Francis Marion and then Lander. So 2 of 3 at home. Taking a look at the final box score in this one. Georgia Southwestern scored 4 in each half to get to their 8. A second half goal by Shaw was their lone score in the 8-1 decision. The statistics read off a little bit something like this. Shots overall favored Georgia Southwestern 20-11. Shots on goal favored the Hurricanes 12-3. Corner kicks, Georgia Southwestern 6, Shaw 4. Fouls, Shaw was whistled for 13. GSW committed 8 infractions. Saves, Shaw had to make 4 in goal. Sherry, hard to believe he only made 2, one of them coming on the stopped penalty kick. So I guess when he made them count all right. Matthew Sherry gets the credit for the win, making his 2 saves in goal. Again, one of them coming on the stop of a PK late in the second half. Martinez and Delelu split time in goal for the Bears, each taking a half in the action. So the second half, it was Martinez who was actually in goal instead of Delelu. Georgia Southwestern goals. It was a record-setting day for Tiago Elias. A hat trick for the senior. The first to become, if you heard me talking before, the first Georgia Southwestern player, it appears, to record a hat trick in the NCAA division era. So congratulations. What a way to go out for the senior in his final non-conference matchup as the Hurricanes play Peach Belt games from here on out. Elias scored in the 13th minute. It was Pedro Chung off of an assist from Elias in the 15th minute. So by the 15th minute, 2-0 in favor of the Hurricanes. Elias gets his second goal of the match, coming off an assist from Divin Moak. That came in the 28th minute, and then at the 39-29 mark, Dylan Marshall comes in off the bench and gets his first goal of the afternoon. 4-0 the score at the break. First goal of the second half was scored by Shaw. It came from Almazor off an assist from Kennedy. Early in the second half, looked like things might be turning the tide in favor of the Bears for a rally. They made it a 4-1 match, but 10 minutes later, Elias scores again. His third goal of the match, 59-11 into it. Hurricanes go back up by the 4-goal advantage, 5-1 the score, and then it was pretty clear sailing the rest of the way. Elvis adds a goal in the 63rd minute, follows it up with a goal less than 2 minutes later. Back-to-back goals for Elvis, both of them off assists from Jonathan Sayers. Final score of the match, hey, he scored the final goal of the first half. Why not score the final goal of the second half? Dylan Marshall gets his second goal of the match, an assist from Austin Martinez, and that'll round out that record-setting 8-goal performance by the Hurricanes, the most in program history. Congratulations to the guys and to Coach Russ on getting the victory here today. But it's back to business for both teams. This weekend, play resumes. Hurricanes again have an important Peach Belt Conference match against USC Aiken. Kickoff time is 7 p.m. from Hurricane Field. We'll go on the air just a few moments prior to kickoff. Don't forget, the easiest way to know when we are on the air is just subscribe to this channel. There's a little red button down there. Follow along. You can always unsubscribe if you're only interested in soccer. It's not the end of the world. But go ahead and lock it in, subscribe to this channel, and that way as soon as we go on the air, you can choose to get a notification that we have gone live, and you'll know right as a reminder that it is game time, it's match time, and we're ready to go here from Americus. So there you go. YouTube channel is GSW Athletics. That'll do it for tonight's, this afternoon's broadcast. Lots of good fun stuff still ahead for Investiture Week. The president, Dr. Neil Weaver, his investiture ceremony taking place on Friday, and then again soccer resumes on Saturday. Just the men are at home on Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your week. We hope to see you back here Saturday night when the Hurricanes take on the Pacers from the University of South Carolina, Aiken. You've been watching Georgia Southwestern State University men's soccer 8-1 victors today against Shaw University. That'll do it. You've been watching the Hurricanes on the Surge Sports